In today's lesson, to help you improve your English, we are going to talk about other ways you can say you're trying something new in English. And this first phrase is not one of the 10. I'm not sure if you've ever heard the English phrase, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks," but I don't believe in that. And if you're like me, you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, maybe even your 60s. And if you believed that you couldn't teach an old dog new tricks, that means most of us wouldn't be able to learn anything new. So I feel the opposite. I feel that even if you are old, you can try something new. So here are 10 ways to talk about trying something new in English. The first way to talk about trying something new in English is to say you're going to test the waters. Maybe you've been stuck at your job for a while. You haven't gotten a promotion. You haven't gotten a raise in a while. You haven't made any extra money, so you want to see what is out there. You want to test the waters. And right as I start this English lesson, they decide they want to mow the lawn. Maybe I need to find a different place to teach. So if you are going to test the waters and look for a new job, maybe you're going to dust off your resume, or I think in Europe they call it a CV. But to dust something off, it means you haven't used it in a while and you're going to use it again. Maybe you haven't been dancing for a while, but you're going to dust off your dancing shoes. If you test the waters, maybe you'll get an interview, maybe you'll get another job, and maybe you'll make more money. Another way to say try is attempt. So maybe you like to eat cake. You're a real big cake fan. And maybe this weekend you are going to attempt to make the best cake ever. Maybe you're not a baker, but you want to try it. You're going to attempt to bake a cake. I found a quieter field, no lawn mowing. How about instead of saying this weekend I am going to make a cake, you say this weekend I'm gonna make a cake, or I'm gonna bake a cake. Instead of saying going to, you can say gonna, G-O-N-N-A, gonna. The next way to say you're going to try something new in English is you're going to feel it out. It's a lot like test the waters. Maybe you want to start taking an English course and they're offering a free class. You can go to one class to feel it out, to see if you like it. See if the teacher teaches in a way that you like. See if it will work into your schedule, you know, the time of day, the day of the week. See if the students are welcoming, if they're nice people in the class. You can test it out. Number 4 is get the ball rolling. Maybe you want to try to play a new musical instrument. Maybe you've never played an instrument before and you want to play the drums. Well, to get the ball rolling, maybe you have to watch a lesson on YouTube or take a lesson with a teacher who knows how to play the drums. You don't want to procrastinate. That's the opposite of get the ball rolling. When I was younger, I would often procrastinate. When I had to do my homework, my mom would say, "Hey, stop procrastinating. Get the ball rolling. You need to start on your homework." Another way to say procrastinating is to hem and haw. Hem and haw. So instead of hemming and hawing, "Oh, should I take a class? I really want to play the drums. I don't know." Get the ball rolling. Try something new. Take that class. Learn how to play an instrument. Number 5 is to start from scratch. That means starting from zero. You don't know anything. You're starting at the beginning. Thankfully, if you're watching this video and you're understanding most of what I'm saying, you don't have to start learning English from scratch. Let's say you want to learn how to knit. Maybe you have a niece or a nephew and you want to knit them some mittens. Now, mittens are the things we put on our hands when it's cold, but they don't have any fingers. Gloves have fingers. That's the difference. But maybe you've never knitted before. Well, to try something new like knitting, you're gonna have to start from scratch. Number 6 is to bite off more than you can chew. And think about it literally. Let's say you have a cookie. I'm all into food today, and the bite you take is too big. You might choke. It might not be a good thing at all. Well, when you're trying something new and you bite off more than you can chew, it means you started too quickly. It's too hard for you. Let's go back to baking that cake. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about food today. I think about food every day, actually, a lot. But let's talk about baking that cake. And you take a class. Maybe your first class is an advanced class. You've never baked before. If you take an advanced class and you're starting from scratch, well, maybe you have bitten off more than you can chew. It's too hard. You need to go back to the beginner class. It's hard to film outside in June where I live because there are so many black flies. If I stand still for too long, they just swarm around my head. While I'm thinking of it, you mind hitting that subscribe button or that like button? It would really help others find this channel. Luckily, the bugs don't really bite, but I'm afraid while I'm talking, while I'm teaching, I'm gonna accidentally swallow one of them. In the car for number 7, let's get a break from those bugs. Number 7 is shake things up. Maybe your life is a little boring. You wanna try something new. Maybe you can't swim. A couple months ago, I asked how many people who follow this channel could swim, and I was surprised. There were quite a few who couldn't. So maybe you want to shake things up, try something new. This year, you're gonna learn how to swim. Maybe studying English, you read a lot, you listen a lot. Maybe you want to shake things up and you're going to start speaking more. Maybe you need a tutor to do that. In the description, there's a link to italki, and guess what? Once you sign up for your first lesson, italki will give you $10 to sign up for more lessons. Another way to say you're going to try something new, and yeah, I do have a different shirt on, is to say you are going to turn over a new leaf. I don't know why we say that, but let's say you've been studying English for a long time, because you probably have. And let's say you spend most of your time listening and speaking. But next week, you want to try something new. You're going to turn over a new leaf and do more reading in English. I'm now at a very quiet playground, but there are no children here. I think that would be a little creepy if I went to a playground where kids were playing and I did this lesson. So don't fear, no children are around here. Number 9 is something you can use once you've already started that new thing. And we say that you now have that under your belt. So maybe you went to your first English class. You never have to go to that first class again. You have it under your belt. Maybe you've baked that cake and it turned out pretty well. You can say, well, at least I have one cake under my belt and I'll work to get better on the next couple cakes. The next one is you got your work cut out for you. You got your work cut out for you. But we say gotcha. You got your work, bugs here too. You gotcha, G-O-T-C-H-A, gotcha. You got your work cut out for ya. For ya. F-O-R-Y-A, probably, for ya. And we say this when something is going to be hard, even though you want to try it. Learning English is hard. It takes a long time. You got your work cut out for you, but you can do it. But why stop here? I got another video right up there about other ways to say I'm angry in English.